Listen to me very closely because life for the top 1% of men is better than it has ever been. For the other 99% of men, it is more depressing than it has ever been because you see, contrary to what they tell you in the media, life for a man is actually quite hard. It's a video game where you start right at the beginning at level 0, and every single day you have to work to level up. You see, because if you don't, some other guy will, and that guy will take the money that could have been yours, the life that could have been yours. This is going to be very, very, very difficult for you to hear right now, but even the wife that could have been yours. I really want you to let that sink in. I want you to imagine right now your dream woman. What does she look like? How does she carry herself? What an incredible mother is she to your future children? How proud are you to have her by your side? You have that image in your mind. Okay, cool. Now I want you to imagine her with another guy. Make it graphic, make it sting, make it hurt because you just lost your future wife, the future mother of your children, to another man because you decided you were going to fuck around with some video games while the other guy every single day put one foot forward in front of the other and leveled up and left you behind. That is the cold, harsh reality for men. It is competition, 24/7. There is no rest. That is precisely why you need to become a high-value man. Now, there is a big misconception as to what is actually a high-value man. That's because most of the guys that you watch online either don't know what it actually means to be a high-value man, or simply have not been in the trenches long enough. You cannot be in the trenches for 2 years and think that you're going to be a high-value man. We'll get onto that in just a second. I'm going to share with you guys 5 things in this video, and all 5 need to be true for you to call yourself a high-value man. This is not easy. This is not a thing that you're going to get done in the next 3 weeks or 6 months. This is a commitment, but what other option do you have? Now, the first step in order to become a high-value man, and this is really where I see past the facade of a lot of the manosphere community, a lot of the red pill community, a lot of what used to be the pickup community, the first step is you need to remove any crutches. Let me make something clear. You should be rich. You should have a good body. You should have abundance with women. But if you use those as crutches, well, then you simply can't be high value. Everyone thinks that they're going to get a six-pack, and then all of a sudden, here you are, high value, or they think they're going to get rich. I see this a lot as well. They think, well, once I'm rich, I'm a high value man. No, you're not, because you need to understand, especially when you're dealing with a certain caliber of guy or a certain caliber of girl, it's a commodity. Everyone has a good body. Everyone's rich. It's expected to even just get into the room. It's a prerequisite. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been uploading publicly on YouTube for 7 years. At 19, I found myself lost in the maze of uncertainty, unsure of where my path was leading. While my peers seemed to have their futures neatly mapped out with college degrees and career aspirations, I felt adrift, lacking a clear sense of purpose or direction. Days drifted by in a blur of aimless pursuits and idle chatter with friends, without a deeper understanding of who I was or what I wanted to become. Yet, amidst the haze of confusion, there burned a flicker of curiosity and a hunger for something more. I delved into the realms of self-improvement, seeking solace in the pages of books and moments of quiet introspection. Meditation became my refuge, a sanctuary where I could escape the chaos of the outside world and delve into the depths of my own mind. Despite my efforts to fill the void with external distractions, whether it be the allure of material possessions, the thrill of adventure, or the fleeting validation of others, I couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness that lingered within. No amount of success or superficial achievement could quell the nagging sense of discontent that gnawed at my soul. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom, staring into the abyss of my own uncertainty, that I began to see a glimmer of hope on the horizon. In the darkness of despair, I discovered the seeds of resilience and the power of self-reflection. I realized that true purpose doesn't come from external validation or societal expectations. It arises from within, from aligning with our deepest passions and values. That is why I don't believe from scratch you can become a high-value man. It's at least a 5-year journey because first you work and you accomplish and you strive and you conquer and you do all these things that from the outside make you look like the man. But then you actually need to become that guy. You will know deep down in your heart of hearts when you've accomplished it. That leads us into the next way to become a high-value man. In order to become a high-value man, you must reimagine the timeline. You see, Most of you guys think that you're going to become a high-value man within 1 or 2 years, and it's simply not going to happen. I've never seen it happen in less than 5 years because there's so much internal work that goes along with it, as I mentioned. First you do and then you become. Every time someone gets success, they then need to fully integrate into that identity and into that success. For me, it took 7 years, from the age of 14, when I really started my self-development journey, all the way up until basically my 21st birthday. That's really where I start to feel like, okay, I don't feel like I have anything to prove. I feel like a high-value man because of who I am, because of my abilities, because of my capabilities, not because of the things I have around me. It's very hard to explain, but you just look in a guy's eye. It's the demeanor, it's the way he carries himself, how self-assured he is. It's hard to describe. You just know, you can see it. For me personally, as I said, it took for you, it might take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But what is your other option? It is a long process. But, as I said, what's your other option? Because there is a guy right now who is robbing you of your future life because you simply refuse to face your insecurities, your past traumas, all the things that most people don't really talk about. But all the reasons why when you hang out with influential guys, you hang out with girls, they'll be able to read through you. They'll be able to see, even though you look like you're the man, you're just a little boy. Until you work on that, you're never going to be able to attract the people that you want in your life. Now, the third thing you need to do in order to become a high-value man is have ultimate true freedom. That means financial freedom, location freedom, and time freedom. Listen to me, I would rather make $100,000 a year and be able to live anywhere in the world. Be able to work remote, and be able to build the systems and processes so that way I have a great team who takes care of it. There's no such thing as passive income. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, it's just passive income. You just set it and forget it. No. Everything breaks down, just like a car, just like the things in your house. When you have things in your life that are tested, that you put volume through, I'm not going to say that's even your shoulder. With enough time and not taking care of it, it can blow up. It's the exact same thing with your business. Don't think that you can just build something and then just set it and forget it, and it's just going to spit out money and never break. There's no such thing as passive income. But there is leveraged income, using leverage in order to find the right people and in order to find the right solutions to actually deliver the service or the product or whatever it is that you're doing. Now, the fourth thing you need in order to become a high-value man is some adversity in your life. So either that adversity and hardship is forced on you. For example, with me, having to support and take care of a single mother. That was really not the easiest thing to come to terms with at the age of 8 or 9 years old. Without going into too much detail here, just having a very difficult upbringing to deal with and just going through and seeing a lot of things that just made me very angry and upset at the world at a very young age. There's certain adversity, there's certain challenges that just force certain people to step up. Unfortunately, the thing is 80% of the time when men are put that, they don't step up. They don't pull up their boots and become the person they need to become to face the challenges. That's just the unfortunate nature of the world. But you simply cannot be a high-value man without putting yourself through the fire. I want you to wake up every single morning, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, honestly, would I follow this man into war? Stare in the mirror and be honest with yourself. What do you see? Now, I know some of you guys are looking at this and going, okay, well, I come from a middle-class family or maybe even a wealthy family. Or you may have just generally had a very cushy life in general. Well, that's fine as long as you force adversity and a hardship on yourself, whether that be small things. I remember even me when I was 15, 16, I used to do a bunch of cold approach. It taught me a lot about how the world works. As men, we all know that anxiety of looking at a girl and being like, do I speak to her? Do I talk to her? All that stuff. I did a lot of that growing up. I think even that diversity shaped a lot of who I am today. I will never, ever look at a girl 3 times. The first time, I might look and acknowledge, oh, wow, that's a very beautiful girl. The second time, I might look over again. At that point, I have to either make the decision. Am I going to be man enough that night or that day to go up and say something and say hi and introduce myself? Or am I not going to do it? I would much rather make $100,000 a year and have location and time freedom than make $1 million or, hell, even $3 million and be stuck in one city and have someone tell me, hey, at this time, you come to office. At this time, you have to leave. You don't have a say in when you get to go to the gym, when you get to hang out with your friends. Oh, you go on a really fun trip with your friends. Too bad. You're already using your vacation days for the year. The funny thing is when I say this, people think like office jobs, right? But they're forgetting about the footballers. They're forgetting about the actors. They're forgetting about all the famous people they look up to and think, oh, they have freedom. Well, they don't. They had a team. They had a manager. They had people in their corner telling them, look, we haven't made enough money this year. We haven't sold enough tickets this year. I've talked about this stuff a lot, so I really don't want to hammer the point home any further. Just remember, you need true freedom. True freedom is not just making a lot of money.